Khamenei was killed, what did you expect the Iranians to do? Bury Khamenei and forget that they were killed? I mean, you know, I could equally ask you, Oren, is it not true that there were detailed talks between the Americans and the Iranians that had reached a very advanced level? And there are reports that there was almost an agreement reached till the Israelis and the Saudis put pressure on Trump to disregard the outcome of the talks, which could have been positive, where I think the Iranians had agreed to stop their nuclear enrichment, or almost agree to 99.9% of the terms. Why then go and kill Khamenei? How is that? Why have talks if the eventual purpose was to kill Khamenei? And was that a diversionary move, the talks themselves?
We know for a fact that the Iranian regime was conducting empty talks that had no intention of actually reaching a substance agreement. On the contrary, the sole purpose of those empty talks was to buy time. And you know, Arnab, why they were looking for buying time? Simple answer. They wanted to have time to put underground, down below, all the facilities they can reproduce, whether it's nuclear, whether it's ballistic, and to tuck it away very safely.
Why were you giving them that time?
And then,
why were you, if they were buying time and playing for time, why were you giving them time by talking to them?
And then.
No, you didn't answer my question. If they were buying time, why were you giving them time by talking to them?
So, at the moment, the main what's happening on the ground is not about talking, is about removing the threat.
No, 1 minute. You said that the Iranians were buying time by talking to you on nuclear.
No, they weren't talking to us. They were talking to our American friends.
They were talking to the Americans. Why were the Americans giving them time if the eventual purpose was to kill Khamenei?
So I think the leadership of President Trump was very clear. And when the United States of America and President Trump decided that now it's the time to address this threat with military means, they did so. And again, I'm here to represent the state of Israel, so I'll leave for the Americans to represent themselves. But I want to be very clear what we are doing here, and this is a joint operation by Israel and the United States. And I'm sharing with you the Israeli perspective.
Yeah.
The Israeli perspective is very clear.
No, I understand that. But Benjamin Netanyahu is saying now it's for the Iranians to take it to the next level, IRGC. But there is nothing indicative that there is anything but a further consolidation in favor of Khamenei on the ground. Now, there are the networks that are operating from the TV networks, the media that's operating from Iran, the visuals from Isfahan, from Tehran, all show growing support for Khamenei. So has the calculation that the elimination of Khamenei would lead to the decapitation of the regime really worked? If the purpose was regime change, then why is it that we don't see that happening?
Arnab, I want to ask you, frankly, do you believe those pictures? Do you believe those reports? This regime
the pictures are on the screen right now.
No,
since you asked me, I don't know. These visuals which are there. Oren, let me ask you, those visuals, when you see them, are they AI generated or are they real?
But you know, you can falsely try to create a false impression, fake impression. And you know, this is the closest you get to 1984. It's a dictatorship, it's a regime that is brutal. You know the facts, Arnab. They massacred their own people. They were shooting people, thousands of people, Iranian civilians on the streets. What are we talking about?
So why were you talking? Why were you talking to them? Why were the Americans talking to them?